Alright, welcome back. So this time we're going to be going over a little bit of a different MSTY year-long with drip, this time going into MSTR. If you remember the last MSTY one that I did, it was MSTY drip for 1 year, and with that one, the total dividend and the total value was pretty significant by letting the dividend for MSTY each month be reaccumulated into stock, and we were able to go from 342 shares up to over 1,000 shares of MSTY, which then made the dividends just come out huge, and we had a total of close to $20,000 of dividend over just 1 year. However, that was all reinvested, and we were actually able to purchase over 800 shares of MSTY with that. So in this video we're going to go over what happens if you use drip as well, but this time instead of buying back into MSTY, buying into the underlying stock of MSTR. So we're going to start off with a $10,000 investment into MSTY on the 1st of July of 2024. At that time the MSTY price was $29.20. A lot higher than what it is right now. It's actually about $10 less than that right now as of today. MSTY shares that we were able to buy with that $10,000 initial investment was 342.46. So normally I wouldn't round up with that or give you a decimal point number, but just for completeness, for a video like this, we'll just go with 342.46 shares. That way we use all of the $10,000. So the first dividend for MSTY in July was $2.33 per share. We had 342 shares of MSTY, which we are going to continue throughout this entire year with this, because this time we will be reinvesting our dividends into the MSTR. So last year in July, MSTR's price was $121.55. We were able to get 6.57 shares of that. So MSTY's value did go down to $8,421 because the price did drop. However, MSTR's total value with the 6.57 shares that we were able to buy is equal to what our dividend is at $798. So total value which includes the MSTR value and the MSTY value is $9,219. We did have a 7.8% negative return in the first few days. In August, dividend went down just a little bit to $194. However, the price of MSTY continued to drop. It's now down to $21.65 on that day. The MSTR price rose just a little bit to $140. So with that dividend, we were able to purchase 4.72 shares for a total of $11.29. Once again, our total return went down just a little bit, mostly just because of the stock price of MSTY. In September, it was $1.85 for a dividend, allowing us to purchase 5.16 MSTR shares because the price at that time did go down to $122.93. Once again, total return did go down just because of the stock price for MSTY going down at the time. Now October was the first month of the barn burners that we had. $4.20 of a dividend. The stock price went from $19 to $28. MSTR did go from $122 to $220, so we were able to get 6.53 shares. However, due to the stock prices going up quite a bit, our return total now is at 46.61%. Just because of the total value between the MSTR and MSTY. November was another barn burner at $4.20, allowing us to only buy 2.68 shares of MSTR because the price of MSTR went sky high up to $535. Now in 2 months, it's over a $400 jump. That's pretty darn good. It'd be nice to have the crystal ball and be able to go back and buy a little bit of that. Now our total return went sky high because of the MSTY share price went up to $33, so our 342.46 shares had us a value of $11,554 from our original $10,000. and the MSTR value now is at 13,000 because we now have a total of 25.67 shares from what we have reinvested all of our money in. December was the biggest of the returns that MSTY probably will ever have, $4.42 per share. The stock price did drop down just a little bit to 28.66, meaning our total value of the 342 shares of MSTY did go down to $9,800. We were able to purchase 4.14 shares of the MSTR because its price also did go down to 365. So a little bit of a dip with that. And our total return did go down to 107.10%, but that's a 100% return if we were able to drip the MSTY dividend into MSTR. We've doubled our value, over doubled our value. We went from $10,000 for an initial investment to $20,000 in just 5 months. That's insane. Not too many other stocks will let you be able to do that with this market right now. Dividend price started to go down in January, down to $2.28, so we were only able to buy 2.18. Total return did go up to 113%, and total value did go up to $21,000. February, we had a $2.02 dividend, so a total of $692, and we were able to purchase just a little bit over 2 shares of MSTR, so we now have a total of 34.12 shares with an absolute value for MSTR of $11,000 at the 325 stock price. Total return went down just a little bit to 95.72 due to the value of both MSTY and MSTR. MSTY took a big hit in March, went from 24.72 down to 18.89. The dividend also started to go down. This was the beginning of the $1 dividends, down to $1.38. MSTR did go down a little bit as well, down to 262, so we were able to purchase another 1.80 shares, and our overall stock value between MSTR and MSTY is now at $15,000 from the top of $25,000 just a few months before this. April was another $1.34 dividend, and we were able to purchase 1.62, and the total return did go up this time to 68%. May was a decent one at $2.37 for the dividend, with a 1.99 shares of MSTR being able to be purchased. That now has our overall total value up to $24,000 because the MSTR price went from $282 to $408. So this volatility here is what really is driving up the dividend amount for MSTY. The 30-day IV of MSTR, when it's going from 220 to 535, down to 262, back up to 408, that volatility is pretty significant. That's why MSTY was able to make quite a bit of change during that time. In June, started to stabilize a little bit and got $1.47 for the dividend. And the first one in July was $1.24. Second one was $1.18. So with this, our overall return over 1 year was 137.94%. So the total value of the MSTY $10,000 initial investment did drop down to $6,664 because the stock price went from $29.20 down to $19.46. However, all of the dividends that we were able to generate during that time was a total of $11,000 from the $10,000 investment. We were able to purchase a total of 42.92 shares of MSTR with that, which gave us a total value of MSTR of $17,129 and an overall value of both of these combined at $23,794. So that's 137.94%. Currently today, the MSTR price is at $372, so it continues to drop just a little bit. So if I was to go out until today, the price would be a little bit less than what it is now at the end of July. That's all I've got for this one. The next one that I'm going to do is MSTY drip to VOO. and then also MSTY dripping into Apple stock. Thanks for watching, and hope you guys are enjoying us. Thanks.